Hi 7G scientists, it's Mrs. Barr, your favorite science teacher. If you're watching this video, you likely weren't with us at the beginning of the year and you didn't get to go through the safety training that the other students got to go through with me. And the reason for this video is that I need you to sign the student lab safety contract so that we can go outside and do some fun things like plant trees this spring. And I don't want you to have to click that you received the safety training if you did not receive it. So I'm just going to quickly go around the room and give you the safety training crash course that the other students got at the beginning of the year. So let's explore the science room and the safety items that we can find. So the first set of safety items in our science classroom we have over here behind my desk. So we have the fire extinguisher, and to use the fire extinguisher we pull it off of the wall. You just pick it up like this, and to use the fire extinguisher we use the acronym PASS. So you would pull out the pin, which I'm not going to do right now because it has this tag on it showing us that it's been inspected. So we pull the pin, we aim the nozzle at the base of the fire, then we would squeeze the handle of the fire extinguisher, and then we would make a sweeping motion back and forth at the fire, because sometimes there will be one area where the fire goes out and another area where it's still burning. So that sweeping motion is what we're looking for. That is how to use the fire extinguisher. The other item that was next to it is the fire blanket. And as you can see, it says pull to release the blanket. So this has a little latch down here. And if you pull that, you'll see this blanket is starting to fall down and out. And if we had a really big fire, maybe over the surface of the desk, we might use the fire blanket to suffocate the fire. If someone's on fire and they're stop, dropping, and rolling, we might also put the blanket over that individual. This is another item. This is our broken glass box. So that is there for putting broken glass in so that we're not just sticking it in the regular trash can, which isn't safe for our custodial staff. All right, so if we're walking around the room, our next safety item is the emergency eye wash. And this is over here along the left side of the wall. And to use the emergency eye wash, all you do is just grab this gently, pull it down, and the water will immediately start coming out. Okay, to turn it off, you're just gonna put it back up. We flip these little caps back on and put it back up against the wall. If you get any chemicals in your eyes, you will be asked to put your face in there, hold your eyes open, and let that water rush over your eyes for an extended period of time. If you wear contact lenses, your contact lenses would have to come out before you use the emergency eye wash station. Moving along throughout the lab, trying not to make you sick. This is our Goggle Cabinet, and this is worth mentioning because if we are going to go outside and you would like to wear goggles, you are allowed to ask me for those. And we have this lovely cabinet. The goggles are inside, and we do have a UV light at the top. And what happens is whenever we close this and we turn the lock, there's a little mechanism over here that turns on the UV light, and it sanitizes all the goggles in between uses. So that's nice that you don't have to worry about getting someone else's germs from their face. The next item we have, our safety item, is our fire alarm here next to the Goggle Cabinet. This plastic outer cover gets lifted up. I'm not going to lift it up now because it does actually sound a local alarm whenever you pull this up. So you would pull this up, and then of course you would pull down on the red alarm there inside. Moving around, here is our classroom door. You might not think our classroom door is a safety item, but it is our fire an emergency exit. So if anything ever happened, like a fire drill, we would simply go out the door, and that is our exit. Another safety item that we have by the door, above the trash can, is our emergency shutoff valve. And this is a big red button. This little plastic cover comes up or opens somehow. It's hard to do with one hand, up like this. And if we push the big red button, it's going to turn off the gas and the electricity to the room. So if we were using microscopes or something and one of the cords caught fire, we wouldn't want to have to unplug it and get into harm's way to cut the electricity to it. We could just push this button. And you probably heard the goggle cabinet turning off. So that's what it sounds like when the goggles are done. I only set it for a couple seconds so that you could see. The next item, safety item we have, is our chemical control spill center. And this is where the items are kept pretty much for Mrs. Barr's use. If we spilled any chemicals that was like a big puddle on the floor, Mrs. Barr would know which one of these special absorbent items she would pour onto the chemical to wipe it up. We also have some special items in here for chemical spills, and we have our MSDS sheets, our safety data sheets. So any materials that we're using in the science classroom, every chemical has its own page, and any information that you need to know about that item and its safety is located in this binder. So this is always in the back of the room if you ever would like to explore that information. I apologize. This video quality is so bad. Okay, moving right along the back side of the room, we do have another emergency eye wash. This one looks a little bit different because this one is also a drench hose. And this one is different in that instead of just pulling down off of the wall and automatically starting up by itself, this one is more of a hose. It has this nozzle that comes out of the wall like this, and we can pull this up, and this gets really long. So if I were a teacher with a student who got something sprayed all over their clothing, I could essentially hose them off with this one. And it also has these eye sprayers here as well. And how this works is you just squeeze this and the water shoots out just like it did on the other one. All right, so as we're walking around the right side of the room, I see another item behind this chair, and the item that we have behind this chair, let me go ahead and move this, is our first aid kit, and it looks like it got moved a little bit from under the sign. Okay, and in our first aid kit we have things like bandages and gauze and a few other things. Mrs. Barr also keeps her band-aids here, as you can see on the counter. And I always ask students not to get things from inside the first aid kit, because then we have to fill out like a form to get it refilled. So it's just easier if you need a band-aid for something small, a splinter or something that probably happened at home, you can just use a band-aid from there. So we've talked about the fire extinguisher, the eye wash, the spill control kit, the first aid kit, our fire drill exit. And last thing I want to show you, these are not always kept out, but we also have gloves, so I wanted to show you what these look like. So these are just some non-latex gloves. So also for going outside, if you don't want to expose yourself to any of the insects or poison, possibly, you may ask for a pair of gloves, and I'll happily provide them for you. Mrs. Barr keeps these in the back closet, so they're not available around the room, but they are available for you to ask for. So if you did not get your safety training at the beginning of the year, that's just a quick tour of the room and a crash course of how things work. And if you have any questions further, please feel free to reach out or ask me over the computer, online, or in person when I see you in class. All right, take care.